So Square Enix dropped a whole bunch of news in relation to Final Fantasy VII and their plans on a little bit on how to take that series going forward. We're reacting to a whole bunch of it. First, we're going to do EverCrisis, then the first Soldier, and then all the PS5 stuff for FF7 Remake. Man, I've been so excited. I literally can't talk straight at all within this whole video. It's wild. But dude, oh my gosh, I am so hyped. So hyped. I am so excited about this. Okay. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to watch these. I think I can handle it. All right, first video. Let's get into it. This is like, oh man, this looks crazy already. So, I need to stop this for a second. This is wild. This is good. This is like that Final Fantasy IV remake that they did for the DS a while back ago that they then ported to mobiles. Like this looks really good. Like it's insane at an episodic return to Final Fantasy with a nostalgic twist for iOS and Android. How Italians like Final Fantasy. And dude, look at all this new art too. Like this is such a good homage to the original, because this right here is essentially a remake of the original using kind of similar art, where you got like the cheapy character models, you got the serious looking art, you got probably serious looking battles. Yeah, they actually have a showdown battles, yeah. Secure art skill. God, look at this. This looks great. I wonder if this is totally new assets or if it's reusing assets from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Might be a combination, probably. Yeah, I bet you this story compared to the remake is going to stick a lot closer to it. That's as far as you go. God, look at Barrett's broad shoulders. Yeah, okay, here we go. This is that. This looks very similar to 7 Remake, actually. Oh wow, and Aerith is right there. Huh, interesting. Yeah, those look like remake character models, actually. I bet you this plays a lot more traditionally like an actual Final Fantasy 7 game too, or like Final Fantasy. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's so much going on here, guys. I'm having a hard time keeping track. Whoa. Wait, features the entire compilation of Final Fantasy 7 and more. So this is going to feature Final Fantasy 7, Advent Children, Before Crisis. Wow. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7, and Dirge of Cerburus. Wow. This is fantastic because, you know, Crisis Core, people have been clamoring for a remake for such a long time. And that is, wow.
It's gonna be our honeymoon.
Wow. I'm like, freaking, what is it? Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson just going, wow. Like, holy crap. That's Zach. This has gotta be from Crisis Core. Oh wait, no. I don't know what the hell that is actually. That's kind of weird because Zach never did that. Huh. Okay. That's a cool first trailer. Let's go on to one of these other ones. Holy crap. That's a lot to take in at once. I need to dissect that. Holy crap. This is literally a remake for like everything. This is a remake for the whole series as a whole. This is awesome. All right, so this next one, which is like I saw clips of this on Twitter. It's like a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale, which is kind of weird. 30 years before the first Soldier. This is the game that everyone thought was going to be a Sephiroth story, which I'm assuming right there is a young Shinra. Supplement their military power, Shinra form soldiers and experimental enhancer. I wonder, this is a good little way of explaining. This looks good. For a Battle Royale mobile game, this is using remake assets scaled down. This looks really good. I hope this actually comes to mobile. I mean, to console, and I hope it comes to Steam. Like, I hope this isn't just locked to mobile because, you know, this looks legit very tight. It looks like Final. I don't know if I'd want this out of every. I would like this to eventually have a theme for different Final Fantasy games instead of just sticking with Final Fantasy 7. But this looks just tight. You can customize. It looks like you can customize your characters. You know, it being set 30 years before remake. It's okay. It's almost like a throwaway thing because outside of just using the environment, I don't know how this is going to add to the story other than maybe, let's say maybe you play your first couple of games and you'll get like a cutscene of maybe of something has to do with Sephiroth, or maybe even soldiers before Sephiroth, because I don't think Sephiroth was the first class soldier. I mean, I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I mean, there's not much for me to say on this one, just because it's like, I don't know what else I can say. Number 1 victory royale. Yeah, Sephiroth, we're gonna get down, get down. All right, now before I play this trailer, I just want to say this is probably, if I get a PS5, this is probably gonna be the reason why I get a PS5. Like, I don't see this not being the reason why I don't get a PS5. So let's see what's in here. Oh man, this is so cool. This is so cool. God, I can't imagine what the PS5 version of this would look like. God, man, it looks so good. 60 FPS, too. Look at that. That's the first thing you notice, 60 FPS. I don't know why people hate smooth motion looking movies, because it looks fantastic in video games. God, that character was so underutilized. The motorcycle dude. I wanted more of him. He was great. I fell in love with him. No homo. God, all of this was so good. All of this was so good. The only, once again, the only difference I would make, what the hell was that? The only difference I would make.
Oh, guys, your girl finally made it to Midgar.
And I've seen a few screenshots of this, so I already know what the surprise is. I've seen a few screenshots in like a 10-second clip. But dude, like Yuffie looks so good.
My name is Yuffie, materia hunter and elite special forces operative for the new Wutai government. We'll
God,
to our
so
common
good.
enemy. That Wutai is not to be trifled with. Members
Okay.
of Avalanche, we got this.
This is interesting because it plays a lot more into the anti-Wutai sentiment
Someone's been expecting
that
What took you?
was kind of plaguing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Anyway, it's nice to meet you. I'm Sonon Kusakabe.
Who is this new guy?
We lost him. You what?
He will be okay though, right?
Yeah, I don't have no idea who he is. Let me put the
Of
follow.
course he will.
They're the ones who blew up the reactors.
Okay, I just want to say a quick pause. This looks like it's going to take place during the part where Barrett, Tifa, and Cloud split up after you blow up the second reactor. This looks like it takes place during that.
No, better not. After what they've done, you gotta assume Shinra's on their tail.
Look, a Moogle.
A Moogle. Look, there's an elephant behind you. Yeah, this looks great, dude. Her running stuff looks awesome. Her ninja stuff looks great. Yeah, I don't even know what to think of. This is... Yuffie is getting so much more character development that she was not getting in the original. You know, I don't want to say that Yuffie was a throwaway character in the original, but in the original, it was just... She was an optional character altogether. So there were loads of lines of dialogue that could have been missed if you didn't get her. So this is... All this stuff, like... Understanding who Yuffie is before the game, like, really gets to her, it's amazing. This looks... Oh my gosh. Like, the first time I saw this on Twitter, like, I was creaming my pants because I had no idea what the hell was going on.
You're better off out of it.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, they do, but I'm not your sister.
That is an anime pose right there.
There you are.
Whoa. This right here. This. I saw a screenshot of this on Twitter and I was like, no way. No way. Because, okay, for you guys, here, let me pause it real quick. All right, I'm going to go a little bit to spoiler territory. So, guys, if you haven't played some of the Final Fantasy VII compilation, well, it's spoiler in the sense of that of I guess Dirge of Cerburus, which I don't know what that. Once again, it's hard to say spoilers because so much of this is taken out of context. But those were the main antagonists of Dirge of Cerburus.
Now, let the hunt begin.
Speaking of Dirge of Cerburus, god damn it. All right, we'll talk about that later. I don't want to talk too much about that. Oh wow, that looks insane. Wow, that's wild. That's a stinger right there. But the real meat and potatoes of this is this right here,
Get down here, Merc.
which is basically the difference in development footage. How this is different from yeah, there you go, right there. From the PS5 to the PS4 version, which is great. Which when let's can we pause this? Oh, I can't. Basically the PS4 oh man, look, you can see like fog in the background actually. Yeah. This looks great. Yeah, so once again, the 60 FPS is probably the biggest thing, which is great. Like, that's so cool. That I'm assuming effects are going to be better, lighting, shadow, all that stuff. Hopefully they get fixed of the weird. The lighting is already better. That looks like volumetric lighting. I could be wrong. Someone, if you're a PC nerd, if you know about this stuff, just put it in the comments, because I don't know, man. I have a gaming PC and I use it for video editing. Yeah, textures, great. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that was. Oh, I wonder if they're finally gonna fix those background images. It looks like they do, because they look way more detailed. I'm gonna put myself in. God, this music is great. Yeah, just effects all the way across. It looks like the one on the left is, I can't tell. It's kind of hard to tell from SDR, but it almost looks like it's an HDR version of the game running, because just how the shadows and stuff are playing on it. Yeah, but man, dude, that's so much more detailed. God, I want to get a PS5 just for this. For you guys that don't know, I have a Series X, and I like it a lot. I really, really like it. But this I would get a PS5 for this. Unless they release on PC, in which case I'd probably play that version. Graphics optimization mode. Performance, which is probably the way people are going to play. Normal, classic. Oh, normal, classic difficulty added. Interesting. Loading times are probably gone altogether. Yeah, I can imagine loading times are almost non-existent. There you go. Wow, yeah, that's so quick. Oh, a photo mode. That's awesome. That's gonna be such a big one right there. People are gonna have so much fun with that. Oh wow, during cutscenes too. Oh dude, I know. And a new episode featuring Yuffie. This is exclusive to the PS5. This Yuffie stuff is wild. Once again, towards the end of the video, I'll explain why it's wild, but I can't. I don't want to say too much of it now. This is just interesting.
You see that?
That's how ninjas do.
It's wild because I don't want. I need to shut up. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Yeah, who knows? Oh man, this is a way. So PS4 to PS5. If you own a copy of the PS4 upgrade, oh, that's awesome. After upgrading to the PS5 version, so it looks like the Yuffie episode isn't free though. It looks like you still have to pay for that. That looks amazing. That looks great. The 60 FPS is awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna put some thoughts out there. I don't, because it's so hard to talk about how I feel about everything. But basically, this announcement is so insane. The first thing I want to say is that it looks like the EverCrisis. If you haven't played Final Fantasy 7 yet and you don't want to touch the PS1, you're like, I don't like how blocky that looks. That looks so dumb. They look like Legos. I don't want to play Roblox. Then check out EverCrisis whenever it comes out. It looks like it's going to be an episodic return to like what Final Fantasy 7 was originally trying to do. On top of that, it looks like it's going to have Advent Children. The movie is weird because, like, you know, it introduced 3 protagonists, didn't give enough screen time, and then if you watch the movie after playing FF7 and FF7 Remake, and then you were to watch the movie, you would probably make way more sense about it than anyone who watched it 10 years ago. If you watch it now, it's kind of hard to watch the English dubs, especially with how well the FF7 Remake did with the English dubs. It's going to have Before Crisis, which is the cell phone game before like apps were a thing. Like that's a big one to me, because there's a character in Crisis Core. There's a girl who was a character in that game. Let's see, it's gonna tackle Dirge of Cerburus, which is wild, because that game is probably the most like Kingdom Hearts feeling. On top of that, EverCrisis looks like it just takes a lot of good asset reuse from FF7 Remake. Like, I don't know what to think. This is just like an overload of information. Like, there's a few friends I have in mind that I would love them to just play through EverCrisis, because I feel like I hype up Final Fantasy 7 to them so much, and half the time they probably don't know what I'm talking about. And sometimes I feel like I talk about these major events where, without actually having the context of the game, you wouldn't even know that they're major. The First Soldier trailer is wild because, you know, everyone thought that was gonna be like a Sephiroth backstory thing, and now it looks more like it's gonna be a well, it looks like we know it is a battle royale. That is exactly what it is, but it's a little bit different than what we thought it was gonna be. You know, I'm down for it. You know, after playing definitely after playing what's it called, Apex Legends for a bit. Sorry guys, I'm looking at the screen again. After playing Apex Legends for a bit, you know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You know, Apex Legends is great. Fortnite is great. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it looks great. It looks fantastic. I hope they bring it to console. I really, really do. I also hope there's a few, like, you know, story drops that, what in terms of narrative, what I would like the Battle Royale to do, what I wanted to accomplish, basically, is to, one, drop bits and hints of things that are to come. And then the next game in the remake series, or whatever the compilation of FF7 goes, whatever it is, what I want them to do is to kind of like reinforce it, or like kind of like drop it again, be like, oh yeah, remember we mentioned that during this game that takes place 30 years before the events of FF7. It looks rad though. It looks so rad. I can't wait to try it out. And you know, and this is probably where I'm going to go kind of full spoilers mode. So just a heads up. You know, the biggest news is the that FF7 remake INTERGRADE trailer, which is wild. Like, this trailer is, we should not have gotten a trailer this good for, you know, it's going to be a PS5 feature. This looks like the final mix of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, it is. It's going to have a Yuffie episode, which is crazy, because once again, Yuffie was a character you could totally miss in the original, just like Vincent. They're integral to this. Well, they're not that integral to the story, but if you get them, you get all these cool little voice lines and character interactions you wouldn't have gotten. So it's cool to see her explored. I'd like to see what they're doing with the partner. What's wild is that in that same trailer, they also showed a little bit of, once again, back into spoilers. If you haven't seen Dirge of Cerburus, if you haven't played that game, if you don't want to know about it, stop the video right now. You got 3 seconds. Yeah, Deep Ground. They show Deep Ground, which is wild, because Deep Ground is Shinra's like secret elite force, but you never see them in FF7. They're hinted at a little bit in Remake, and you never ever see them until Dirge of Cerburus. In fact, when they're uncovering the wreckage of Shinra at the beginning of that game, you wouldn't have even known that they were a thing if that game didn't bring them up. And with that game bringing them up, there comes a new antagonist, the leader of this, you know, mercenary elite group, and their leaders are insane. The leader is wild. It reminds me a little bit of like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, where that whole group, at least in retrospect, I always felt like Deep Ground was trying to be what eventually they were. But yeah, dude, that Deep Ground showing up is wild, because you get the leader Vice, and all the leaders are named after different colors. Rosso, Vice, Azure, and then this, I can't talk about this because it's insane that this is coming back, and the story was so melodramatic. Nobody kind of knew what they were doing, and no, that's not true. People knew what they were going for. It's just those moments were missed, and the fact that they show it in this trailer is I'm blowing out of my mind, because are we gonna see Deep Ground in action? In the following games, are we going to see him in action? Are we actually going to get like some personification to this group and its leaders that were the main antagonists of Dirge of Cerburus? And in that little chibi game, EverCrisis, are we going to like, are they going to expand on it? Are we going to get to see some of these bad guys and what they are? You know, and then Vice, as a bad guy, has a very similar theme to the Sephiroth's reunion kind of thing. So I don't know what they're. You know, it's wild. I don't know what's gonna happen. The Yuffie stuff is crazy, because this leads more into the Wutai versus Midgar kind of part of the game, which the remake touched upon. It touched upon a lot, but man, did you just not get to see a whole lot? I mean, okay, how do I say this? It touched upon it a lot, and even though it touched upon it way more than the original, in the game itself, you just got sentiments of how Midgar was feeling towards Wutai. And over here, Yuffie coming into the picture, bringing her boyfriend or whoever that is.
Yeah, they do, but I'm not your sister.
Okay, here you get Yuffie coming in with her big bro, and her big bro is going to help her get out of the washing machine, or get into some material, or whatever they're going to do together. Who cares? But it's, you know, it's a new character. It's a new, looks like original character. On top of that, you get Yuffie. You get to finally see some like background to this character, because the only background that we got to this character was in Crisis Core. And not only that, But the Yuffie in Crisis Core was like a super young Yuffie. So it's oh man, it's so cool. It's so cool that we're actually getting so much. This makes me, all of this to say, not only is this a remake, it looks like at this point it's a remake and a remaster of all the original concepts they had for Final Fantasy VII, everything Final Fantasy VII related, and finally putting it in a way that all kind of makes sense towards itself. And you know, I'm happy. We are living in the best age of video games. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, if you never got into this franchise, this is it. This is the way to do it. Like, this is so rad. It's so cool. Like, play the original if you want. You're just gonna get so much good fan service. I am a little bit cautiously optimistic. I'm now starting to get to the point where, like, okay, Square, you're kind of introducing all these things that in hindsight, like, were not kind of cool. These Kingdom Hearts kind of elements, which Nomura is famous for. And I don't know if I don't know what this is gonna lead into. I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope the game succeeds, but I am a little worried and nervous that, you know, it might crumble under the weight. But I don't know, man. Like, they did such a good job with the remake. I feel like they fully understand it. And, you know, outside of Avengers, which even isn't that bad of a game, I don't know how Square can fumble this. It looks like they just have so many people that love the games working on them. And that's the best way to make a game, to have people that genuinely enjoy what they're making. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't even talk straight during this whole video because I just keep stuttering and I have to re-record myself because I'm just like, this is cool. This is dope. I'm so excited. Anyway, let me know what you guys are excited about. Did I miss something in the trailer, or there's something else that we can fangirl about in the comments? You guys have a good night. Like, this is so cool. All right, goodbye.